Let us all remember that the destiny of all black people, no matter where they are in the world, is bound up with Africa. We should never forget that famous admonition of the celebrated Jamaican reggae star Peter Tosh, when he said, and I quote, "Don't care where you come from, as long as you are a black man, you are an African," unquote. If we work at it, if we stop being beggars and spend Africa's monies inside the continent, Africa would not need to ask for respect from anyone. We would get the respect we deserve.
And in today's video, I'm going to react on the video of Nana Akofu, the president of Ghana. There is this speech he gave some times back, and the speech was strong. It had a message, and there's some things I picked from that speech. First of all, Africans are the same. For example, if you're from Tanzania, from Uganda, from Rwanda, from Burundi, and you are in the West countries, you are abroad, you are African. They know us as Africans. They will not say that I'm a Ugandan or Tanzanian or Somalian or Rwandese. We are all Africans. Listen to this video and then we're going to talk about it.
The forum has chosen the most relevant theme of Africa's contemporary situation, a theme which sums up the essence of African aspirations: amplifying voices, building partnerships that work. I've stated it before, that it sometimes appears the words Africa and Africans have more resonance outside the continent than inside. When we are home on our continent, it always seems very important to assert that we are Ghanaians, Ivorians, Kenyans, Nigerians, Swazis, Senegalese, Rwandans, South Africans, and Zambians. Then we find ourselves outside the continent, and then we discover that to the outside world, there are no Ghanaians, there are no Senegalese, and there are no Tanzanians. They're only Africans, and we are all simply Africans. The lesson for me is clear. Our destinies are intricately linked with each other, and we're talking not only about those of us on the continent, but about the Africans in the diaspora as well. You can be an honors graduate from any of the top universities of this country. You can be a second or third generation American, and you can be in a well-paid job. If there's an outbreak of Ebola someplace on the African continent, you are an African. Anyone, everybody in a position of leadership in Africa today, thus has his or her work cut out. The urgent responsibility we face is to make our countries and our continent attractive for our peoples, to see them as places of opportunities. It means we must provide education, quality education and skills training. It means our young people must acquire the skills that run modern economies. The impact of a successful Africa on the image and standing of Africans in the diaspora applies with equal force to the image and standing of her sons and daughters who go by the name African Americans, and indeed to all her kith and kin in the Americas and the Caribbean. There's a lot of room for your perspectives and energies back in Africa. History tells us of the positive impact of diasporan communities on the growth and development of countries through increased trade activities, rising investments, and the transfer of skills and knowledge. Take the case of China, for example. With an émigré population of some 60 million, the Chinese diaspora is said to be the 25th largest country in the world, who, according to the Nikkei Asian Review, own assets worth 2.5 trillion United States dollars. When foreign companies in the late 1970s reduced their investments in China, It was the Chinese diaspora that shored up the economy. According to the Washington, D.C.-based Migration Policy Institute, MPI, half of the foreign direct investment, that is some 26 billion United States dollars, that transformed China into a manufacturing powerhouse in the 1990s, originated from the Chinese diaspora. That is the rationale of Ghana's initiative of Beyond the Return, which is building on the considerable success of the Year of Return and the renewed enthusiasm around building Africa together. We must work to help change the African narrative, which has been characterized largely by a concentration on disease, hunger, poverty, and illegal mass migration. Let us all remember that the destiny of all Black people, no matter where they are in the world, is bound up with Africa. We should never forget that famous admonition of the celebrated Jamaican reggae star Peter Tosh, when he said, and I quote, "Don't care where you come from, as long as you are a Black man, you are an African," unquote. We must help make Africa the place for investment, progress, and prosperity, and not from where our youth flee in the hope of accessing the mirage of a better life in Europe, Asia, or the Americas. That is what the Beyond the Return seeks to do, so we can derive maximum dividends from our relations with the diaspora in mutually beneficial cooperation, and as partners for shared growth and development. The second half of the 20th century witnessed a great blow for human progress and freedom when the African peoples, in the wake of Ghana's shining example, liberated themselves from the colonial and imperialist yoke and the racist ideology of apartheid and emerged as free, independent peoples to construct new nations of hope and advancement. The first half of the 21st century should consolidate this development and see the growth of modern, prosperous, technologically advanced nations within a united Africa, which would make a reality of the dream of the 21st century as the African century, and bring dignity and respect to Black people all over the world. We've done enough talking, and dare I say we've had enough conferences and workshops. We know what we need to do. It is time just to do it. We've run out of excuses for the state of our continent. We have the manpower, we should have the political will. It is time to make Africa work. We have good reason to be proud of who we are and the beautiful continent that is ours with its vibrant cultures. The geographic space covered by Africa makes it the second largest of the 7 continents. It has 30% of the world's remaining minerals of value. It has some of the most breathtaking scenes on our planet. It has plants and animals that are wonders of the world and critical for the survival of the globe. I hear a lot about the need to change our narrative and tell our own good story. Ladies and gentlemen, as the saying goes, nothing succeeds like success. If we work at it, if we stop being beggars and spend Africa's monies inside the continent, Africa would not need to ask for respect from anyone. We would get the respect we deserve. Over 30 years ago, one of America's most prestigious Ivy League universities offered a course in Mandarin, which for years had virtually no takers. Today, there is standing room only. And it is not because the course is any easier. It is because the position of China has changed. 30 years ago, 20 years ago, China was nowhere near where it is today. China does not ask for anyone for respect now. She does not need it. Let us make our continent the prosperous and joyful place it should be, and the respect would follow. I thank you for your attention.
Now, welcome back. This was a great speech, but as I say always, our African leaders, they give speeches, but we need more of actions. We have good speeches, but actions, we don't see actions. On this speech, I picked few things. First of all, I picked the fact that Africans are the same in the face of the white people. White people see all of us as Africans. They don't differentiate who is Somali or who is Ethiopian. We are all the same. Other things that I picked from this speech, it is that there's a time Africa was great. Like, for example, Kenya was great than China. And China has built its country for all those years. Now China is helping Africa. That's the second thing. The third thing I have picked from the video is we as the Africans, we have to stop to be beggars, because it's the only way we can build Africa. Now, let me start with the one of Africans are the same. In the face of the white people, for example, if a white man comes in Africa or a white man comes in Kenya, if I see a white man, we always think that you are from the United States. Are you from America? Are you from America? We don't differentiate who is from France or who is from Netherlands or who is from Canada or anywhere. We all know they are from the United States. Mzungu, you know? More so, we as Africans, when we go to their countries, when you go to United States and you ask a white man, do you know this man? He'll say, yeah, he is African. Even if he is Jamaican, even if he is Haitian or he's from Barbados, they all know all black people are Africans. And that's why we call the unity of all black people. Because we are differentiating ourselves, or we are keeping boundaries within ourselves. But they see us as the same. That's why when they steal from us, when they loot from us, when they do what they do to us, they do us as a bundle. You know, they see all of us as the same thing. A black man from South Africa and a black man from Senegal, all are the same in the face of the white supremacy. So we are calling the unity of black people. More so, this message was for Africans in diaspora. Burkinabe president, Ibrahim Traore, said that Africans in diaspora need to be the ambassador of all black people. They need to send our message that Africa should unite. And that's all the message we are sending. The fact is, we are the same in the face of the white supremacy. So I found these videos on the social media. You see two black people in the United States, maybe they are fighting. Two black people in the white man's country, they are fighting. Two black people in the you know, in Arabic, in Saudi, maybe in Asia, they are fighting. When we keep on fighting, we are selling our name in a bad way. So they will not respect us in any way. If we want them to respect black people, if we want them to respect Africa, we need to respect us ourselves. You know, we need to keep unity together. We need to be united. Tanzanian and Kenyan, they need to speak one language. I know there's a fact. I've seen your comments that Africa is very hard to unite, yeah, to be one country. Yeah, it's very hard. It cannot happen in this generation. Maybe it will happen in another generation. Even someone asked me, so when Africa unite, you want to say in the World Cup, we'll have only one team representing Africa? And I was like, yeah, like you have a topic there. So it's very hard for Africa to unite in one way, but we can come together as the countries of Africa, 54 states of Africa. We speak one language and we say what We don't want white supremacy in our countries. We want to do legit business. We don't want exploitation from the France. We don't want exploitation from the UK. We want the reparations. We want our gold back. We want the things you took from us back. We can speak one language, but if a president from Burkina Faso is speaking this language and a president from Kenya, Mr. William Ruto, different language, what will we do? A president from Mali, from Niger, they are speaking a language of unity, but a president from Ghana and president from Nigeria and president from Uganda, they are sleeping. We cannot speak one language. That's it. Tell me what you think about that on the comment section. Now I'll go on the second thing I picked from this video of Nana Akofu. It was China. At some point, the countries of Africa were better than China. But right now, China is helping Africa to build ports, is helping Africa to build airports, is helping Africa to build roads. They have the mind. They have learned the way of taking over. Why are we behind China? And yet, at some point, we were the best. Kenya at some point were far better than Singapore. But right now, we are behind Singapore. Now China is helping us. If you go at Nyayo Stadium, China are building Nyayo Stadium. It's not because we don't have minds and brains in Kenya. It's because we are giving away our country in a way that we cannot trust our own, in a way that we are being brainwashed, in a way that we are being colonized indirect. Now, we can't use our money to build our money. You see our leaders, they are stocking a lot of money into foreign countries, dollars of money, and yet we are bringing in Chinese people to build our nation. We have been doing this and we have built China. I can say that. Yes, they have built their country, but we have supported them to build their country as big as they are now. There's a Chinese man who said that black people are the most stupid people in the entire continent, and I can agree, because you saw the video I did last time where China Square opened its business in Uganda, and black people, Ugandans, were struggling just to enter the mall. A lot of them. That shows how we are giving more credits to the white supremacy, and we are leaving our black people in the dark, because every day we believe nothing good comes from black people. We had a topic of Jesus is black, and we were talking with some people, my black friends, and they were telling me there is no way they can believe in black Jesus. And I asked, why can't you believe in black Jesus? They say, God is white. Anyone who is white is near to God. And I was like, black people are the first people in the surface of the earth. And if God created Adam or created humankind in his own image, that means the image was black. But this debate has been going on, and even our black brothers, they can't have trust in a black Jesus. They can't. Because it's a topic that we were being brainwashed long time ago. And we will talk about this. How did Jesus become white? Because we have been seeing videos of white Jesus. We have been seeing clips or pictures of white Jesus, and the only thing that is associated with the black is Satan. Satan is black with horns. That's what we see. So it's very hard for anyone, even a black brother, to accept something which comes with a black. That's why we are ruining black business. A white man come and open a business near a black man. That's automatic. A black man business is dead. You saw it in Uganda. You saw it in Kenya. China Square was here in Kenya, and we protested. Now, the thing that Nana is saying, that we have to use the money of Africa, we have to use it in Africa. That's the only way we can create Africa and we can make Africa great again. And this message is for the youths, more so the youths, the Gen Z of Africa. We need to pick few things from this speech. I know Nana has failed Ghana terribly, but at some point he has made Ghana great. But these speeches are making us strong. We know what we need to do, because you can deliver a good speech but the actions are bad. And we always say we go for the, we go by the word. For example, if you are in church and you have your pastor, maybe your pastor is Pastor, maybe Prophet Kanyari or whoever, and he is teaching the Bible, just understand the Bible, leave the actions alone. That's what we say. So on this speech, we are picking things that will make us great, but we are leaving the bad actions that we see from our African leaders. The other things is that Africans should stop to be beggars. Now, our leaders are making Africans to look like all of us are beggars to the white people. Even I saw there's a video of this content creator, Kino, it's called Kino, YVE. He's from France. He was in Tanzania, and a Tanzanian guy was telling him that you need to give us something because Tanzania is poor. Now give us something. And this guy from France was like, I'm in your country as a tourist. How can he give you something? Go out and work. So our African leaders and the way the white people made us to believe, they made Africans to believe we are always the slavery to them. We are always dependable to them. So, and even at now, our leaders has made us to believe that we need just to beg from them. You have seen William Ruto, he went to China. He didn't went to China because he went there to, to make something, just a visit. There is a mission, and that mission is a begging mission. Let me say that. Begging mission. He was in USA, it was a begging mission. He is in China, a begging mission. When you go to Russia, a begging mission. It's always begging left, right, and center. Ghana, I saw they are struggling with IMF, with the World Bank loan. It's all about begging. Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore said no to the IMF, and he's doing great. He has projects he's doing in Burkina Faso, and Burkina Faso people are happy because he is doing something. He is bringing the farming into life. He has brought the World Bank, the first bank in Burkina Faso. He's doing great, and he said no to the IMF money. But here we have our own President William Ruto begging from January to December. But okay, begging is good. You get loans from IMF, but on the ground, what have you done with the money? You are going to take loans to build roads, but there's no roads. Education, there's no education. Health, but there's no health. So what we need to do, we need to stop begging. And when we stop begging, that's where they will start to see Africa, we are the real people. That's where they'll start seeing us serious. That's the only way. So this was a speech from Nana Akofu. It was a great speech, and I love it. And I think that all these leaders can just do what they say on these speeches. William Ruto has the best speech ever. He is the most knowledgeable man in Africa. They say that. We have every president, even Museveni, have the great speeches ever. But all these leaders, they just speak. But on the ground, are they doing the right thing? So you just have to tell me in the comment section, what do you think about this speech from Nana Akufo-Addo? I think I'm not going to talk more about this because I want we want to do the interaction on the comment section and tell me what you think about this speech from Nana Akufo-Addo. For me, it was the best speech ever, and I think that we need to, if this speech can be kept in action, we need to do so. But my message is that we need to have young leaders. I think young leaders are taking Africa by storm. You have seen the likes of Morara Kebaso, the one who is doing the expose in Kenya. Young leaders, we have minds, and we can do something. But they always say these leaders who are all in power, they only think nations as it is their country. I saw yesterday Uganda police shot the opposition leader because he want to bring change. But the only people they don't want change. All they want is to loot, and loot. But it's going to end. And it will only end when Africans in diaspora will be our ambassador. It will only end when the youths of Africa will stop the leaky. Given something small and you go and throw your vote. And when you throw your vote, you are coming and cry for 5 years. When you cry for 5 years, they will come with another way of twisting your mind. And another way is giving you something small. And that is what led to our colonization. That is what led to a lot of, to these slavery things. Because the black people went for something small. And the white people came, took away our gold. They took away everything that belonged to us. Right now, they are exploiting Africa. And we can't say anything. But right now, we are talking. This is the only way we can do. Tell me in the comment section what you think about Nana Akofu, about the speech. I know. Tell me if you have done something, if you have done something great for Ghana. Just tell me in the comment section. You can reach me on my email address, kenyanbeast1@gmail.com, and my number is on the description. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Until next time, peace be with you.